Hello my beautiful hammerhead and welcome back to another Age of Sigmar lore video. So today we're gonna talk about the short story The Wayward Tale by Jeremy Lambert, and it's a Fyreslayer short story. Sort of. What do I mean by that? So there is a very simple reason for this. First of all, I do recommend that you read it for yourself, but this one is probably if you are a Fyreslayer fan or if you are interested into the Fyreslayers, because otherwise there are also Dark Oaths in it with a War Queen and some of her followers, and also Hunters of the Astral Templars Stormhost. So yeah, it's again a story of three parties here. But the story begins with a battlesmith. The battlesmith is one of oh no, not one. He is the last survivor of his lodge, and they were hunting a beast. The whole story is in Shaiish, so it was an undead beast, which is kind of fantastic. And he lost his battle standard, the Icon of Grimnir. He only has his axe, and he's being haunted by the ghosts of his former runefather, runeson, and I believe it was the runesmith. Doesn't matter. Three of his fellow Fyreslayers. And he's mortally wounded. So the only thing that keeps him going is the hatred for the beast. The act of revenge is the thing that keeps him going. And so he's like, I have to find this beast. I have to slay it. Even though it's already dead. But doesn't really matter. He has to destroy it. And all the while we get really nothing out of him, because the only thing we get is a little bit of the conversation between the ghosts and him, because again we're in Shaiish. That is not an uncommon thing. In Shaiish, by the way, we have other stories like Gothgul Hollow, or rather the Morghast series. We have 3 out of 4 books already for the series. In Shaiish, it is a really common occurrence to talk to the deceased, even dine with the deceased, and I don't mean in a zombie or a vampire kind of way. It's really something pretty regular to summon someone back to undead life, whatever you want to call it, talk a couple of hours and then send them away again. So yeah, so he talks a little bit to them, and we get a little bit of backstory, which is really nice to see, because as the last survivor of the lodge and being mortally wounded, his runes, the Urgold runes, can't keep him alive for that long anymore. There is a little bit of hints here and there that the ghosts are keeping him alive as well, but we don't have any confirmation of that. So yeah, okay. The other part of the story is the Hunters of the Astral Templars. They lost their leader and 2 others, and so they're also a little bit on the path of revenge, and they thought it's the beast that killed, well, the leader and the 2 others. So they're following it through the snow, because again, in Shaiish everything is cold. It's not like Akshi, it's the real opposite of it. And yeah, all the while they find those Dark Oath Ravagers, and they're really patient. They're watching, they're looking, and sadly there isn't that much happening after yesterday's short story, because everything is in the Wanderer's Tale, the short story bundle. Wanderers of the Realms, sorry. I was expecting a little bit more. This one was also a little bit shorter than the other one, which isn't bad, because there isn't that much fighting in it, and if you know me, I'm not the biggest fan of prolonged fight scenes. So it was rather fast, it was nice. The other thing is, the mysterious thing is the beast, because I really couldn't figure out what it is. Maybe I can't just remember right now, and in about an hour I will say, oh, that was it. But it's probably made, and I don't mean in a Frankenstein-y way, more like experiments on how to do Osiak Bone Reapers, because that is also something that's been alluded to, which is kind of interesting. And it's enormous. It's 3 times the height of a regular person, and a little bit more is in the text. And in its jaws, there is, of course, the icon of Grimnir, so the battlesmith's battle standard. And so all 3 parties congregate on one spot. The beast arrives because everyone is basically hunting this beast for whatever reason. Basically, everyone vengeance for some way, for one thing or another, which is also really not really interesting, but I don't have the word for it right now. I must admit I can't even think of it in German. It is a little bit of... It's not negative. It's like, it's fine. There would have been better motivations for it to hunt it down. For the Dark Oaths, it would be a little bit cliche to do it as an oath, maybe. For the Astral Templars, it would have been a little bit too cliche to, we must prove ourselves as the prime hunters and so on. And for the Fyreslayer, it's a little bit cliche that it's vengeance. But it is something common that everyone shares with each other. But still, of course, Dark Oath and Fyreslayer and Astral Templars are fighting against each other while fighting against the beast, which is kinda nice. And in the beginning, the Fyreslayer and the Astral Templars are, wait, what is happening here? Why is he alone? He talks like there are hundreds of Fyreslayers around him. And everyone was expecting an army to appear behind him, and was like, what is happening? We only see 3 golden lights beside him, and they're kind of taking shapes of themselves, which also is really interesting. So it proves that those are not visions in the Fyreslayer's mind. They are real. They are there. Other people can perceive them, which is really, really nice. Again, we're in Shyish. It is not Ulgu, where everything is a trick or an illusion. But with spirits, especially for someone mortally wounded, it could be that the Fyreslayer only sees it for himself. But again, really, really nice that everyone sees them, everyone perceives the ghosts, and that they're really acting with the Fyreslayer. And so he gets his icon back. Stuff happens. Of course, they win because it's a Fyreslayer short story. It sounds mean when I say it like that, but it really doesn't, because I really like the ending. The ending is the best part of the story. And well, we have our Fyreslayer there, we have our Astral Templars, and it's really, really sweet that they listen to him, because they make a deal of, hey, you helped us, whatever you want, whatever it is in our power, tell us and we will do it for you. And he's like, listen to my story. It is the Final Fantasy X camping scene before they reach Zanukand. And it's like, this is my story. This is the only story I got, or whatever Titus says. It's really, really sweet. So they listen to the whole story of him. And it's like, we will remember this one. It's amazing. The ending, again, is the best part. All the Fyreslayer parts are basically the best part. I understand why they're the Astral Templars and the Dark Oaths. I just wished that we would have got more of the Battlesmith. The icon also really makes sense here, because it's the visage of Grimnir. It is something that grounds him to the realm, to life itself, which is also a nice touch. It's a really nice detail here from Mr. Jeremy Lambert. So I really like the choice of a battlesmith and not one of the other heroes that we have in the Fyreslayer range, because it could have been a runesmith, it could have been our mini Gotrek, the I wanted to say the Slayer, but all of them are Slayers. I forgot the title. Yeah, the mini Gotrek, the Doom Slayer. No, not Doom Slayer. Whatever. Yeah, the one with the death oath. Let's just say it this way. And yeah, again, really nice detail here. I really enjoyed it, that it's a battlesmith. Also, another motivation to, for me personally, to repaint my battlesmith to make it more Shaishian. So, really enjoyed this one. Again, it's more for someone who's into Fyreslayers, who wants to know a little bit more of them. And there isn't sadly that much of Shaiish, because you need a little bit of background to immerse yourself in the realm, and there are a lot of other stories for that. Well, to be fair, all of them are full-sized novels. So as of yet, I don't know of any other short story that delves into the realm of Shaiish, like yesterday's All is Foretold with Ulgu. That one was exceptionally well written for a realm description. This one is good. It's a good read if you want to read up on Fyreslayer lore, if you want to get to know them a little bit more. But for everyone else, I feel like you probably can skip it, or we can talk about it in another video and on the live stream. But yeah, what are your thoughts on all of this? Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section. I'm keen to know what you have to say. And while you're there, please remember to do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is not only fun. Why? Because that way we can build a bigger community and talk more wargaming almost every day. And of course lore. And by that I of course mean like and subscribe, and if you want you can support me with the links in the description down below. And before I forget, I am so sorry. So I already recorded, if you can't tell, this is a day of batch recording. I already have the Gloomspite recording for tomorrow, if there's nothing else on the Warhammer community page. And after that, if there is nothing on Friday, then we will go to the short story Hounds by Christopher Allen. I'm sorry that I forgot to mention it earlier. But yeah, then have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated. I will see you in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.